Hold me. I'm going to crumble to dust.
Sure.
This is going to make us feel really old.
Okay.
So just buckle up.
Hey everybody, I'm Amy Newman.
And I'm Chris Carr, and we are Two Filthy Casuals.
And we know that getting into a new fandom can be intimidating, especially if you don't know if you're original, if you're the only one, I think.
If you're sexual. Yeah. That's why on this podcast, we invite a superfan on, and that way you can dip your toe into the fandom, ask your questions, sans judgment.
I do think you're all three.
Oh my God, thank you. Back at ya. Oh my goodness. And today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest who can talk to us all about how Backstreet's back all right. She is fresh from across the pond. She's a huge Backstreet Boys fan. She is an incredible Disney employee. Today we are joined by Nikki Marquis. Hey, Nikki.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Thanks
Thank you
for
for
being
doing
here.
this.
So excited.
Well, first things first.
98 degrees.
Ooh.
Oh, did I get the wrong notes?
There's a lot of boy bands, right?
Yeah,
There's
there
a lot
are.
of different boy bands.
I do feel like that is our lower tier one. No shade to anyone who's a 98 Degrees fan. But I feel like in the like early aughts pantheon of boy bands, they're not that S tier.
They're no O-Town.
Oh, damn. Well, straight out the back, art by Nicholas Polito. Who's back, Nikki?
Backstreet Boys.
Heck yes. And you are fresh from seeing them at the Sphere,
Indeed.
which is
And
wild to me.
it has not left my consciousness since I was there, since I left. It's just been, I can't even really describe it, which is a problem because I have to talk about it. But
You need a dance. If you want to do like some interpretive movement in there too, we are on YouTube now.
and
So
I
that's
definitely talk with my hands a lot, so that will help.
You're
perfect.
good company.
But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen clips of it on social media. But in terms of boy bands, and I'm a fan of a few boy bands, but I have now come to the solid conclusion that Backstreet Boys are the greatest boy band of all time.
For why?
They've been around for 32 years.
Hold
when
on.
did Backstreet Boys...
Hold me. I'm going to crumble to dust.
Sure.
So this is going to make us feel really old.
Okay.
So just buckle up, okay?
Damn.
So 1996, Backstreet Boys released like their first single. And I only discovered this recently, because I'm from England, that they actually formed and released music in Germany, Europe, and England before the States. So I was, I think, 9-10 years old when their first single came out.
Wow.
So I was a baby.
Yeah.
And now I'm 39 and still on that bandwagon. But it turns out that their first album was not the same in the two countries. So having moved over here now, and I was looking on, Apple Music and Spotify for, to play the original album, and it does not exist. So I was very, very confused.
Whoa.
But it took them like an extra year to make their way over to the States.
We just weren't ready.
I know.
They were too much.
Is this like how we couldn't understand what a philosopher's stone was?
Oh, what?
Where all Americans went, I don't know about that. That
Well,
sounds like book learning.
I don't know. We were all reading that book going, Hermione, for years.
That's true.
Till the movies came out. So maybe we didn't. Maybe we weren't ready.
That's very fair. That's so crazy, though, that it's totally different albums.
Were they one of the, because I know there was a big influx of, boy bands and girl groups at this time. They're a little earlier than what I really associate with like the crux of this.
Yeah.
But were they one of those bands that was and I ask this, I feel like there's no way to ask this, it's not going to sound judgmental, but like created in a lab? Was this like a producer auditioned and put guys together to do this?
Yeah. I mean, there's numerous different documentaries out. I think there was one out on Netflix recently that was about the guy that put them together. So there's a guy called Lou Pearlman who essentially wanted to form a boy band. He'd seen the success of like Spice Girls and other big groups and wanted to form this group.
Yeah.
So I think he'd found, I'm probably going to get all the facts wrong, but essentially, I think they had...
Welcome. You're in the right place. You're on the right
I feel like I'm
podcast.
screaming, go, that's not right. But Howie and AJ were already in the Orlando area. I think Kevin was working at Disney.
He was
being
in
friends
Aladdin.
with Aladdin, exactly. And then he was cousins with Brian, and then I think they auditioned for Nick. And Nick had this big decision because he got offered the Mickey Mouse Club, i.e. where like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears were all formed and bred into superstars. But he decided to go with the wild card of let's be in a boy band. But I think because of that, they had a lot of the songwriters in Europe. So they worked with like Max Martin and Dennis Pop, who basically wrote all of the iconic songs of like that era. So Max Martin wrote like a lot of songs for Britney Spears, broke all of those artists. So I think that's why they initially released stuff out in Europe, because maybe America wasn't quite as poppy, or their sound initially was a little bit different. But that's definitely kind of where like late 90s music was going in England.
So who are our players? Because I feel like if I know anything about these bands, they weren't just casting like we need five good-looking, talented guys.
Yeah.
We need the bad boy. We need
for sure.
I'm trying to think. What
The
else?
sweetie pie.
The sweetie pie.
The
mysterious one. The goofy one.
They definitely have that mix, I think. Like
And the fifth one. So who's the
like the oddball?
Yeah,
like the bonus.
Who's kind of that tire in the trunk? Like, look, we got it if we need it.
And also this one.
Yeah.
I think every band definitely has that one that has less love. Ooh, it's difficult because I think everyone always has their favorite band member.
Of course.
I would say probably Nick and Brian had the most attention.
Yeah.
I was always a little bit of a Brian girl, and then when Nick got rid of the awful 90s curtains haircut, I was a little bit more into Nick.
Brian's son, Nick Rising.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, although now
Moon and
recently
Howie.
it's been a show. Howie's probably the one that I would say is like the quiet one, like always, like he doesn't have a lot of lead vocals. But I think unlike other boy bands that has like one or two like main vocalists, they definitely share it out a lot more. It's probably Howie is just the one that has less.
Sure. It's funny going back and realize, I feel like I watched Spice World recently, and it was like, wow, you can really, like, boy, like Sporty Spice got some pipes on her.
Oh, she
She
does.
carrying those vocals.
And Victoria
She's there to look good,
occasionally
right?
goes, ooh. And God love her.
Yeah,
If I
for
looked
real.
like that, I wouldn't have picked up a skill either.
No, I would have only picked up those little Gucci dresses and been like, I'm fine.
Get a girl.
Exactly. But I think that they definitely created the mold for the boy band, because obviously then we had lots of others that kind of tried to follow in their footsteps. And weirdly, they were all kind of put together by the same guy
Yeah.
who really, I mean, again, go watch the documentary. They were put together by a guy called Lou Pearlman, who basically conned them all. He gave them really, really shitty contracts. So they
An
weren't
unscrupulous
making
man
any-
in show business. Say it ain't so.
I know, scandalous.
The first and only one. Thank
Yeah,
God. We
gosh.
found him.
So he'd written into their contracts like himself as the sixth member.
Oh, Jesus.
Gross.
So
he's the spare tire in the trunk nobody wants.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going more than 30 miles on this one. You know?
So he did the same thing. Like he would take like a cut for like their management fee, blah blah blah. So by the time he'd taken all of his, cut and his sixth member pay, they were getting basically peanuts and working like for nothing. I think they all kind of said they were getting like they got a big check for like $10,000 and thought they'd made it, and then realized that they would have made more working in McDonald's.
Woof.
Oh.
So initially, like they definitely weren't, reaping the rewards of like their big success.
Yeah.
And I think eventually they got out of that contract, and then were able to break off and then have financial success as well as, chart success.
When it's so, I feel like I remember in this time period, because I very much came of age around like the boy band and the girl group, boom. and how much people were undervalued at the time for like, oh, but they don't play instruments. They're not writing these songs. And it's like, they're still the fucking face of this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's still these
incredibly
performers.
vocals.
They're still singing. They're still dancing through these entire, 2+ hour concerts or whatever the hell. And they're still the face of this. So it's just crazy.
This is where I think being pre-social media sometimes was to the detriment of these bands, where we've all seen Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift training on treadmills.
Right.
And going, holy shit, that is really intense because you are carrying a several-hour show, running around, doing moves, etc. And what they all did in the early aughts was bananagrams. Their little dances that everyone tried to learn and everything.
Yeah.
Little 13-year-old me was huffing and puffing, trying her best. And I was a dancer in musical theater at that time. I was doing 3 shows a day, and I still was like, how did they do this? How?
I don't know. Well, it was definitely a phenomenon. Like, I was completely told, like, from the age I started loving them forever, like, whether it was Backstreet Boys or other pop music, that I used to get, not like bullied, but kind of like made fun of, like, oh, it's like that's shit music, they can't sing, like, oh, it's not real music, blah blah blah. And I would feel like, oh, well, I love it.
Yeah.
And now you fast forward 30 years, and now it's like almost cool because like they're selling out like these amazing shows, and like back at school disco come on, and everyone would be like, like that's rubbish. And now you go to a wedding or something, and Backstreet's Back comes on. Everyone is on the dance floor. Everyone's singing all the words. And you're like, well, was it always cool and people like didn't want to admit it, or like
Almost like pop culturally and culturally, we just love to shit on things teenage girls like. And maybe teenage girls sometimes have kind of baller taste.
I would argue they're taste makers. And then once people get out of their own way, which we've seen with so many of the fandoms we talk about on here, where we have all these quote unquote closeted fans who are like, oh, it was so embarrassing to talk about it. And then once everyone stopped being a bit of a dick, it was, oh, that's so cool that you love that thing. I actually love that too.
Yeah.
That's why more
it's
people
mostly
should just
boys.
be cool. Yeah.
Like, although I would argue that actually Backstreet Boys was more acceptable for guys to like, because they had like that cool edge.
Yeah.
I think like AJ, like going back to like like Nick was like the baby face, the cute one. Like AJ was like the bad boy, and like I think all of the guys.
Who are the rest of that? Because I will say, I full disclosure, cards on the table. I was an NSYNC girly.
Same.
Okay.
No Strings Attached was my first concert.
Mine was Aaron Carter featuring the A-Teens. If you want to know exactly how old I am.
Oh, dang. Love.
That's interesting. So the NSYNC Backstreet Boys thing. So you were, I was an NSYNC girly. I was both.
I think I was just, because I'm a little younger. I'm so young. It was
You're a baby.
too young. But I was a little younger, and I do remember feeling like, no, I like NSYNC. Like, those guys feel like cute and little and accessible, and I could like smooch them. Though I do have a distinct memory of being on the playground and 2 of my girlfriends being like, Justin Timberlake's mine. Like, no, he's mine. And I literally remember standing there being like, we're 7, so I don't think
That's a crime.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right to me. Now, the delusion has come on in full force as I become an adult.
Well, yeah.
Of like all my favorite celebrities would either want to date me or be my best friend. They just haven't met me yet.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was a little more self-aware. But all that to say, I think there was NSYNC felt like these little smoochable guys to me.
Yeah.
And Backstreet Boys, I liked the music.
Yeah.
Fine. But they always, like, they felt like the thing like my older cousin liked. Like, they kind of felt like bad boys to me. And there were too many blonde ones. And I can't keep up. Oh, help me. Okay, there's Nick.
Yes.
AJ.
Yeah.
You said another one. Shit.
I did.
Fuck.
I've said all of them.
You have. Kevin.
Yeah. 2 more. Come on, you can do it. The
The
bad
light-
boy.
Howie?
Howie's the quiet one. Yeah.
Yes. See, the problem is I do keep going to NSYNC members now.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Throw some of them in.
Okay, great. Chris Kirkpatrick. And 2 Hands. He's
Brian.
the mobster. it's nicks the face, 2 hands, puts them in line.
Yeah, he's the muscle,
Yeah.
you know.
Surprised that Lou guy got away with so much with old 2 hands.
Well, he created NSYNC as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole other thing. But so the NSYNC Backstreet Boys rivalry was here in the States, but it didn't really happen in England.
Did you feel like one was bigger in England?
NSYNC never really took
Okay.
off.
Oh.
I guess Backstreet was there first. And I Want It That Way, Larger Than Life, they probably, they got top 10 in the charts.
Yeah.
And everyone knew who they were. NSYNC came a little bit later. I think I was probably 12, 13 when I kind of discovered them. But they never toured in England, to my knowledge, unless I completely missed that. So I never got to go see them. And I think they just didn't explode in the same way that Backstreet Boys did. And
I do feel like it was already a pretty saturated market from what little I do know about culture in the UK at this time period.
There was a
It's
lot of UK boy bands.
y'all
at the
doubled
time.
down.
Yeah, there was a lot. O-Town, I used to like them as well.
Yeah.
And then we had British boy bands. We had Five. We had Blue. They
Blue.
probably never made their way over here.
I only know about them because of Love
Love
Actually.
Actually, yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I thought they were a made-up band until this moment.
A lot of things.
Is the big Christmas song an actual thing, or is that a movie plot?
Which big Christmas song?
The idea that whatever song is number 1 on Christmas is a big
a
deal.
big
that's
deal.
To get Christmas
I've
number 1.
told you
Yeah.
that.
Wait, but then I'm so
she didn't fucking believe
Huge
me.
deal.
True.
We were watching it and I was like, that's real. And you were like, I'm going to
don't
wait
know.
till I can ask a real British person, but I'll smile and nod
it's okay.
today.
Do my research. But then that surprises me that NSYNC didn't really connect over there because their Christmas album blew up over here and was
Right.
huge.
It is quite good.
It's very good. As somebody who is a non-denominational Christmas fan, I love that album. They sing "Oh Holy Night," and I'm like, yeah, take me to church, NSYNC. Let's go.
You really say happy birthday, no one.
Yep.
I mean, they existed.
Yeah.
They just didn't ever really compete.
But to clarify, the number 1 on Christmas song thing is not about a Christmas song generally, right?
No.
It's like song of the summer kind of vibes, right?
The band or the group or artist just wants to be number 1 on Christmas Day. It's
Okay.
doesn't matter if it's an actual Christmas song.
Yeah.
It's just a really
This is probably where my disconnect was, where I was like, why do they care about it being a Christmas song so much?
No, we don't.
Just because Bill Nighy is doing a Christmas song doesn't mean everyone is.
Thought that was the case.
I don't. Okay, we do have to now break it to Chris. All the things in Love Actually that aren't real life.
Oh no.
Yeah, buckle up.
I mean,
Is
Hugh
Bill
Grant
Nighy
is
not
not
a-
Prime Minister, unfortunately.
What the hell?
I know. Never was.
Who are we dealing with?
You don't want to know.
Okay. This is really hilarious to me because it shows how our viewers are very, very American because so many of our questions are NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
And you're like, get out of here.
The World of Tomorrow said, what's an NSYNC song that you think BSB would crush?
Ooh.
Ooh. Honestly, probably Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah.
Because they got their moves as well. I know that's... Or then you've got... There's a song on the No Strings Attached album called I Thought She Knew, which you will know if you're fans, which is just a cappella. Backstreet could kill that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We also got one from Christopher Lee, 1978. Hypothetically, who would win in a DCU Marvel-esque type fight between Backstreet Boys and NSYNC?
Okay. Let's break this down because I love both bands. I think,
NSYNC are just
honestly,
little guys.
I love NSYNC.
They're puppets.
Justin
Marionettes.
left. He's had a super successful career on his own.
But he can't throw a punch for shit, and we all know that.
And I think Backstreet is going to be more scrappy.
They feel scrappier.
Yeah.
They feel
Yeah.
tougher.
I think so.
I feel
They've
like
been through
at
hard
least,
things.
and if I'm forgetting an actual news story, forgive me, but I feel like I can confidently say, based on my zero research I've done, at least 2 to 3 of the guys in Backstreet Boys have been in some kind of scrap in their life.
Yeah.
Maximum,
I think they've even been in scraps with each other.
probably, and
I
then
think
they
punches
kiss a
happen.
little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
at
Kiss
the
and
end.
tell.
In this theater.
NSYNC, I'm thinking maybe Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone definitely could throw down.
I think he could take a punch.
I think he could take a punch. I think he could give a punch. Listen, he just finished a stint on Broadway. He can do it all. I love that one.
Lance is just too sweet and kind. I don't think they would. No. Yeah, Backstreet Boys would win in a fight for sure.
Look at them on your shirt right now.
Yeah.
They look so tough.
Well, they recreated
the
Millennium album cover.
Oh, yeah.
So Millennium 2.0 for the Sphere Show.
Spectacular.
Which, I
so
just can't go for it.
How do you remember when you found them, or were they just always in the fabric of your life?
I can't remember my life without them. I remember when like pop magazines used to be a thing.
Oh.
And you'd get the posters. Like my bedroom walls as a teenager you couldn't tell what color they were.
Yeah.
And it was just a mix of all different
But you could
colors.
tell what my type was.
Absolutely. You could tell
and it
what
was
I love.
boy. Yes.
Boy bands. Absolutely. And I remember there was like a free gift with this magazine. It was a cassette tape, shows my age. And I'm pretty sure their first single, like We've Got It Going On, was on this tape. And it was like obviously to promote like whatever new bands and artists were coming out.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing it was like that, and I was like, what is this song? What is this song? And I think from that moment of hearing that, I was sold.
Yeah. You're activated like a sleeper agent.
Absolutely. And now it's like, if I hear that, just that little 2-second clip, I'm like, my ears prick up and I'm like, okay, let's go. But I think literally from that moment, I remember that. I remember like getting the Millennium album for Christmas. Like knowing that like I couldn't buy it before Christmas because I'd put it on my Christmas list and I was like, oh, I have to wait. And then getting it, I was like, right, that. And then I used to fall asleep to the Black and Blue album. I used to put it in my CD player and it would just, I'd not fall asleep because I was like, oh, but I want to hear the next song. I want to hear the next song. And I think like just that music has always just been part of my life, like growing up. And I think that's why now it feels so important. And now it's like, oh, I can talk about it more. And like I was always told like, oh, it's a phase, you'll grow out of it. Guess what? Haven't grown out of it. I'm sorry.
Because that's the thing too. Those things that if we write them off as phases, sure, maybe I'll like mature and I'll find other things I like. But also, don't underestimate. It's like those jokes aside, those songs do form the fabric of your life. Yeah. Like the things you tie to, the emotion you tie to, the memories you tie to that shit is so real.
Well, and there have been so many studies done too that psychologically listening to the songs that you fell in love with in your teenage years give you that really great dopamine hit. And that's why so many people go back to those and replay them over and over again. It's kind of the same thing as watching your comfort show. Yeah. Where you have that, I know what happens, I feel safe. It does the same thing with your brain. Yeah. So when you have those, this was so important while I formed my frontal lobe.
Yeah. I'll never love anything as much as the things I loved when I was 16.
And I think like obviously there's different kinds of songs, like they're more upbeat, dancey songs, just kind of get you in a certain mood. Yeah. But then like they have heartbreak songs. It's like when you're a teenager, like if you like your
someone gets it,
oh, and like oh my heart is broken, and then you'd have like other songs that would be like oh I'm gonna fall in love one day and it's gonna be okay. And I think like when you have those songs going through that stuff, like you know there was stuff in like my teenage years that I found really difficult, and I think like having that music was like I'd just shut myself away and I'd again completely convinced I was going to marry either a Backstreet Boy or another boy band member. I believed that was going to be my life. And I think that's, like, it helps you through those, like, tough moments. And I think, kind of going back to, like, the Sphere conversation, that's why it's been so successful. Like, it honestly feels a bit like therapy for people going to see this show. Yeah. Like, there's definitely the people that have followed them from the very beginning that have never got to see them live. And there's people that went to the original Millennium Tour when they were younger and they're going back and like reliving it. And it's just 2 hours of like going back to a time where there's no money, no worries and stress, and you don't have to worry about bills, and you just go back to like an easier point in your life and escape. Yeah. And like, I think everyone is kind of, it feels very different to like any other kind of show that I've been to see them or in any other band, but I've seen them, I think, 6 times now. So I never got to see the Millennium Tour originally. or the Black and Blue tour. So the first time I saw them was, I think, in like 2006 for the Never Gone tour. I was quite near the front, and it was like incredible. And just like, I think I went twice, and then like a bunch of other times. Saw the DNA tour twice, and then this one just felt completely different. One, because it's the Sphere, and I can't even begin to tell you like how, because you're just completely surrounded by the graphics and the music, and they have an instruction that everyone has to show up wearing white. So like 20,000 people.
They're like a terrible wedding.
Yes, well, like, because obviously they're wearing white on the album cover. They're like, they want their fans to wear white. So everyone, it just felt really like when people are brought together by a common love of something, that it was just like, instead of it being, like you said, on the playground, your friends were going, oh no, like he's mine, or no, he's mine, being competitive over it. Like, I love it more, no, I love it more. It was like, everyone was there because they shared the love of the same thing, and just everyone was singing every single word, and it was just such a, I don't know, it was just such an amazing experience.
And I want to say we've all made our peace that we're not going to marry them, but like,
yeah, I mean, they're all married now, I think. Well, no, AG's now divorced, but you know, there's hope. There's hope.
Third husband, let's go.
Which one would you marry?
Oh, I'd marry Kevin.
Good choice.
That's mostly just because I got asked out by someone who was friends with Aladdin when I was a Disney intern, and I didn't. And I was like, oh, man, should have gone out with that hot Aladdin. Mm-hmm. Should have done it.
He has aged like a fine wine.
This is very true.
I have a worse version of that story.
Ooh.
Did I ever tell you? Oh, no. This is too deep, baby.
Oh,
we
no.
don't have the time.
No.
I don't know if I've broached any of this yet on the podcast. Okay, you know how on Hollywood Boulevard there are people who stand on the street in costumes and take pictures of tourists for tips?
Okay, you and I have talked about this off mic.
Yeah. When I was like 18, I was real dumb and I couldn't get a job. And I was like, I could buy a Dorothy costume. And I just went and stood on Hollywood Boulevard.
It was very safe.
Anyways, all that to say, one time the sketchy Jack Sparrow was like, you want to like go like get a drink after this? And I was like,
sure.
Okay. He like sat and got an iced tea, and about halfway through I was like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Sketchy Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is saying something. It was a sketchy Jack Sparrow.
Because he's already sketchy.
Already.
Well, he was just on Hollywood Boulevard.
That's fair. I didn't know if it was just like when you see the Elmo that is not copywritten in, and you're like, oh no, that one's got some sooty miles on it. That one's seen some hard times.
Sure. Anyways, I'd marry two hands, so that's just me.
All good choices.
Thank you.
What if you can kind of encapsulate why people should see the Backstreet Boys though at the Sphere?
Mm-hmm. Do they have more tour dates? Yes. I know we're doing that weird AI Wizard of Oz bullshit now.
Yeah.
No offense if anyone's excited.
Side quest.
Give me the Ghiblies.
I heard they inserted David Zaslav in it as a munchkin, and I'm just like, there's way too much to unpack here about how this is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, because at first I was like, the Wizard of Oz in the Sphere, that could be really, really cool as is. And then all the augmentation sounds so spooky.
Yep.
Love that for you if that's what you want.
That's your thing.
That's not for me.
So why should they go see it? But yes, they have added more dates. So they
Amazing.
finished their run at the end of August. They did 21 shows. And as literally, we went to the August 9th show. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I would love to go back to tonight's show. But tickets were impossible. I mean, that's a whole other thing. Like the Ticketmaster war was fought. We had to pay a little bit more than I originally wanted to on this show. And it's probably the most I've ever spent on a show. But it was worth every single thing. I was like, Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, bucket list, need to make it happen.
I mean, I feel like I'm just waiting for something I want to pay Sphere money to go see something at the Sphere anyways, just because that venue looks fantastic. So that in and of itself, I do think there is that jacks what I'd be like. I don't want to pay $150 to go see 2/3 of the Wizard of Oz, but a band I liked, I'm already ready to fork out a little extra.
I was like, oh, maybe they'll do more shows, or maybe they'll do, because the whole thing is that it's the 25th anniversary of the Millennium album that they've re-released with a new song. I was like, well, next year would be the 25th anniversary of Black and Blue, so maybe they'll do that. And I was like, I can convince like my husband to go again, like maybe we could go to another show. And literally 3 days after I'd focused on nothing else, they post this little teaser. And I was like, oh boy, okay. If like I've manifested that way too quick. Like if they're gonna announce new shows, I haven't recovered from this one. And then they've now released dates between like Christmas and New Year. I had to sign up for all the pre-sales, and I fought the battle, but I did manage to get face value tickets this time.
There you go.
Nice.
For like general admission. So
Nice.
how this varies is like you have like the bottom standing section, and then you've got 3 tiers. So like the 100s, 200, 300, 400. And really there's not a bad seat in the house other than the back section of the 100s, because there's an overhang that blocks half of the screen, which is kind of the whole point of the sphere.
At that point, it's just partial dome.
Yeah.
Got to change the name.
So this time it's going to be a completely different experience.
Where were you? So you were in that section?
I was in section 200.
Okay.
So like the first level up, kind of to the side, but it was perfect.
That sounds
because
solid.
Yeah.
You weren't too far away from them. You could still see them and them dancing, but you had the incredible visuals. Yeah. I completely lost my mind. Like they had a countdown that started, and I'd basically gone cold turkey on social media. Like, because I think we were the 4th weekend of shows. So I knew from the first day, I was like, well, I can't go on Instagram. I can't go on TikTok because I'm going to get it spoiled. And I do not want to see anything to do with the show. So I literally just avoided everything for a month. And then obviously this clock starts ticking down. It's like 9 minutes and they're playing like all of the songs. And like I get emotional at concerts now. I never used to. And then like the graphics kind of kick off, and then boom, like they're on the stage, and I was just like losing my mind because you can't quite understand what you're looking at because the screens are just so incredible. Yeah. And I think for that whole 2 hours, I just like sang every single word and just like lapped it all up, and it was just such an adrenaline like thing. Yeah. And everyone I've spoken to like on social media that also went has had exactly the same experience, and everyone wants to go back again because they want a different kind of view of it, and just how like it was either the first time they'd experienced it or they wanted to go see them again. And I think everyone's kind of found some kind of healing in it, and it sounds really super cheesy but I think everyone's kind of been through that kind of similar experience where they loved something but it was like what you say, like shameful to love it. But there's all these like posts of the drowning performance where the graphics were like these 2 bits of water like parting, and the part of the middle of the song where they basically just cut the music and kind of sing it a cappella, and everyone's like, have you been to therapy? No, but have you sung with 20,000 other Backstreet Boys fans? And it's like, it was, yeah.
That's beautiful.
I feel like also millennials get a little shit for being so nostalgic, but it's like, we haven't had like a great time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry for wanting to go back to the 5 minutes things were good before, you know.
Everything happened.
Before like 8 rounds of unprecedented time.
Right.
I want to live in precedented times.
Yeah.
Oh, just one. Just a precedented time.
That'd be beautiful.
Normal time.
That'd be so nice. It's wild to me, though, that it's been 25 years. And from what you're saying.
Because
we're still 25.
21.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what I just
How do I
turned.
remember this album coming out?
It's crazy. Was the sphere and all of the graphics and all of the cool stuff there to help kind of compensate for any moves that have been lost over the years? Or did it still feel like you were watching like those guys nail their stuff?
Fine, Two Hands doesn't have the drop splits like he used to.
He lost a hand. The mob took one.
He's just hand now.
I think, like, obviously, like, they're all in their 40s and 50s. Like, Howie turned 52 because they brought out cake on the stage one of the nights.
Aw.
And you're like, how?
Everyone got a slice.
How? Like, they're not really boys anymore. Like, let's face it.
The Backstreet Men.
Like, they still perform. Like, they're still hitting all the moves. Like, not, I guess, quite the same as they did when they were in their 20s. But they, like, very impressive. Like, they're still dancing and singing. The vocals are still on point. And there's a whole thing with Brian's voice that he has this condition. I don't know the medical term for it, but it's basically like vocal tension. So he really struggles. And that's been going on for quite a while now. So, but the amazing thing about it is, like, the fans understand that they don't care. Like, the other guys kind of rally around him, and if he's struggling, like, they kind of step in. But even his vocals were, like, completely on point. And I think that's something that makes them really special, because they genuinely have, like, a brotherhood. And I think the fans have all gathered around them, and all of their own personal kind of struggles, the fans have always kind of supported them through all of that. Yeah. And there was another not fun story, but during the DNA tour, I went the second time, and the day before I was due to see them, Aaron Carter passed away. And I was like, oh no. Obviously Nick's brother, for people that don't know. And I was convinced that, well, they're cancelling that show. There's no shot that I'm going to see them tomorrow. But there was no announcement, so we, like, rocked up to the venue, and I was like, okay, well, it's going to be the four of them. There's no, how is Nick going to perform the day after his brother passes away? Got there, they all came out, and I was like, this is going to be a really strange concert. And there was moments, like, I think they were singing Incomplete, and you could tell, started to kind of lose it. But you could kind of see it in his eyes, and, like, one of them sort of comforted him. And then they finished singing No Place, and all the graphics, because it's about, like, their families and stuff. And then on the screens, they had obviously pictures of their family, and then they had pictures of, like, Nick and Aaron together, and then they put, like, Aaron Carter, like, R.I.P. And they did a little speech, and, like, Nick completely broke down in tears, and the 20,000 people in the arena were just cheering, loudest I've ever seen. I was completely sobbing, because it was like everyone was just like, I couldn't believe he was even performing.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And, like, he was, it was beautiful. And then they sang another, I forget which song it was. I want to say it was Don't Want to Lose You Now, which was just like, whew. Everyone obviously had, like, the lights on the phone, and it was just, like, such an emotional thing. But it was also kind of beautiful that he somehow still managed to do that. But I can't really describe the atmosphere in that room, and it's just unlike anything else. But I don't think that there's another fandom, like another boy band fandom, that would kind of group together in that way. But yeah, I've never experienced a concert, like, as emotional as that, for sure.
O-Town Hive would not rise up.
No. Again, I love O-Town, but yeah, there's not as an emotional connection there, for sure.
Wow.
Well, since they do have this really deep connection with each other, this is from Pizza Professor NY, talked about how NSYNC had Justin leave, and that's kind of what made that band fade out for a while. Yeah. What happened with BSB? When did they kind of fall out of, like, the common zeitgeist?
They did a bit. Like, they've never really, like, it's funny when you go Backstreet's back, because they never truly left. But they had a couple of albums because Kevin left for a few years. There's 2 albums where he wasn't on it at all, and they weren't that successful, really. Even Nick Carter left for a bit. He had a solo album, but again, it didn't really do that well. I know Brian's done, like, I think he does, like, religious, like, Christian albums. Again, I've never really listened to it, because it's just never been on my radar. Don't know about the others, but I think AJ has a couple of good songs. But I think because not one of them has exploded in the same way that Justin Timberlake did, that's always just, they've gone, actually, we're just better to be together, and that's how they're supposed to be. But that's probably why. I think if there was one kind of, like, maybe if Nick Carter's solo career had completely kicked off, then maybe they wouldn't be together still doing music now.
Sure. A little respect on Two Hands' solo career, please. Is there anything you wanted to see from that concert that you feel like you didn't get, or you'd want to see if they were, continuing to tweak the sphere, the experience?
Oh,
no, don't encourage me.
I love it, though.
Anything missing? I think the set list was really good. There was a bit of a curveball, though, because I assumed that they're obviously going to sing every single song on the Millennium album. That was kind of a given. And I thought, well, they're going to sprinkle in, like, the other hits and stuff, which they did. And then they sang Siberia, which is an album track of the Never Gone album. I think just because like they love to perform it, and it kind of lent itself to the graphics. So
Sure.
if you look at it on TikTok, they did this weird like frozen ice face. So because Siberia,
Sure.
and all the graphics is like flying through like these icy glaciers, and they're all like frozen into like the walls of the ice. So I feel like they had a cool idea for a graphic, and were like, we'll do this song. Like, why not? Huh. But a lot of it kind of divided the audience a bit because they were like, oh, why that song? But
wait, I've never heard this song. How bad is
Really?
it
Yeah, I
that
don't know
half
what
an
this is.
audience of people who paid however many hundreds of
bad.
dollars to see Backstreet Boys were just like, not
I'm not in it.
interested?
I think it's because there was a lot of people that, like, you could tell who like the hardcore fans were, who had listened to every album, knew all of the album tracks, and there was definitely people there because it's the Backstreet Boys, it's the Sphere.
It's nostalgic. It's a fun night out with your
Right,
girlfriends.
and you'll know, like, there was definitely a lot of people that have been dragged by the other half. Some were more into it than others, and I think they're just the people, you know, they know the hits, but they don't know, like, the deep cuts.
Yeah.
And it was a deep cut track that was like, why are they singing this? But
You
then-
could have just done I Want It That Way a second time.
yeah, like, well, they have two versions of it, so
I know.
alternative lyrics, which they've just released.
Oh.
I know. You've heard it? No?
No.
So it wasn't supposed to be like, instead of like Tell Me Why, it was No Goodbyes and No More Lies.
Oh.
So it completely changes the whole like vibe of the song.
They should just continue. They should then release
Alternative version.
pecan pies. Hey, for Thanksgiving, it won't get them on the the UK charts, but because you don't do that there. But
No, we don't know.
Prestigious #1 Thanksgiving song. Oh, I love it.
number one, I
I'm
mean,
here
please
for it.
pass the gravy.
Get that pie? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's beautiful.
Weird Al did a version of that song.
Oh, that's
Like
right.
eBay.
That's right.
I think that's how you know you've made it, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
very true.
parodied by Weird Al. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, this is from a listener you might know, K Marquis 9.
oh, yeah, I'm a little bit familiar with him.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Wants to know.
I think he likes you.
Hit him up, slide into his DMs. Wants to know, what's your favorite album? And tell me why.
Of course he did that.
Yeah.
I love a good pun though. So I mean, okay, tell me why. That's difficult. It's such a close call, but cool. Get that one in. Between Millennium and Black and Blue. Am I allowed to say it's a tie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
No,
it's-
actually. Oh,
No,
let
you gonna
me.
make me choose?
I'm sorry. We're getting word from the judges.
Oh, God, what'd they say?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
Would you say those are the albums to start with? If someone's like, I'm tangentially familiar with Backstreet Boys.
So a novice Backstreet Boys. Absolutely. I would say that Millennium is probably like their biggest album. So I would start with that because then at least you'll recognize.
Some of the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the earlier albums, there's probably some stuff that still doesn't feel current. Whereas I would say a lot of that album, they could release it today and it would be like a new song.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to know that it's 25 years old.
Be trending on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any that are skips for you, album wise?
What, as a whole album?
Or like,
songs?
just like, what are there any that are like? Because I feel like a lot of, even if you love a band, there's usually one that's like that doesn't hit the rotation quite as hard.
What's your Siberia?
It hurts because actually Siberia I love. Probably the two albums they didn't do with Kevin. Although, because I go, oh, I don't really love those albums. But then when I put them on, I go, oh, actually, like, this is better than I kind of remember. It just doesn't have that same feel because I guess, like, one of them is,
Yeah,
one of them's missing. It doesn't have the same.
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Well, damn.
Nikki, is there anything else that you would want people to know about the Backstreet Boys?
That they are back.
All
They
right.
are bigger than ever.
Yes.
I really do think that. And I
Do you think this is like a nostalgia thing, or do you think this is the beginning of a full like Backstreet's back?
I don't think that they will ever stop as long as that they can keep going.
Yeah.
I think that
When was their last album?
DNA came out in, I want to say 2019.
Oh, so recent.
Yeah.
Ish. Nope.
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago. Boy, the passage of time,
Oh,
huh?
when COVID.
Boy,
just
the
did
passage
that
of
for us.
time, huh?
That's just because 2020 was 20 years.
I'm like, oh, last
Yeah.
year.
wait.
But that album was solid.
Help me.
I know, we're all getting older, but we're
It's
not.
okay.
Fuck. Okay, go on.
But yeah, like I think like that was the first like album they did together for a while, and like I loved it. But I do think like a lot of the fans that go into the Sphere have essentially skipped all of the albums probably since that era
Yeah.
of like the early noughties. But I mean, that's fine. Maybe they can come back into the fandom now. I think this is getting a lot of people back on board with it, and there's people bringing their kids to see the show. So a whole new little generation of Backstreet Boys fans is being born. It's really cute. Like there was a whole family sat in front of us, and it was like a couple couples and like their 3 kids sat in the end, and they were all like loving it just as much. And it's nice. I hope the music never dies.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Stunning.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for this deep dive.
Yeah. I learned a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that they had all these other things going on. That's great.
Now you just need to go listen to all the albums.
This is true. Nikki, where can people find you and keep up with you?
I post a few things on Instagram and TikTok occasionally. I definitely have posted some of the content from the Sphere show. So if people want a nice, easy way to just get a little glimpse of what my experience was like, just go and find me on there.
What are your handles?
Ooh, it's Nikki Shade Marquis on Instagram. And I think it's just Nikki Marquis on TikTok.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And for us, as for us, my brain's still, I'm like 20.
Yeah.
You can find us over on the Instagram or the TikTok at Two Filthy Casuals Pod. As always, we are on your favorite podcatcher and on YouTube if you want a video version. If you are currently listening, go check out her sweet, sweet Backstreet Boys shirt. You gotta see it. Otherwise, if you like the show, a little rate, review, 5 stars, thumbs up, what have you, goes a long, long way. And if you want more episodes, you can always join us over on patreon.com/twofilthycasualspod for 2 bonus episodes every single month.
Be sure you're commenting on those YouTube videos, too, because that helps us with that pesky algorithm.
And that pesky self-esteem issues.
Yup.
Tell me you like me.
We're just 2 Tinkerbells. We'll die without your applause.
Please.
Interact with us.
And until next time, thank you again for being here. Thank you, Backstreet Boys, for keeping the
Pop music live.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't have anything. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I'm Amy Newman.
I'm Chris Carr.
And remember, if you followed this fandom, you'd be home by now.
You are my fire.
Your one desire?